My name is Dani Thomas. I'm originally from Philadelphia and now I live here in New York City. I came out for the first time to my best friend in high school. We were walking home from school one day and I told him that I thought I might have a crush on our other best friend. And I sort of brushed it under the rug because I was so nervous. I was really just terrified of what he would think, which is ridiculous because he was an out gay man who was so confident in who he was. And I just couldn't believe that I was saying those words to him. But it was great. He received it very well. He was so happy to hear that. And he was very supportive of me exploring those feelings and seeing where I might go with that. That happened in 10th grade, and then I never thought about it again in terms of publicly discussing it with anyone. Of course, I thought about it a million times to myself, by myself, and only with myself. And then when I was in college, I was dating my first girlfriend. It was serious, and I was home for spring break. And I was in the car with my mom, and I thought that this was the time to finally say something to her. And I remember the silence was sort of deafening because it was like Fun Home. Just having that experience of just like, say the words, please say the words, please say the words, and looking at the traffic lights passing by. And I said, I have to tell you something. And she was quiet. She didn't really respond right away, and I'm shaking. And I said, I'm dating someone. And she asked, is it a boy? And I remember two things happened in that moment, which were, one, I was sort of encouraged by the opportunity that opened up, that she was kind of saying, is it a boy? Also, there's the option that it could not be a boy. So I was happy about that, but I was also just kind of expecting that she was hoping for that to be the answer. So I said, no, but it could be. To which she said, what the hell does that mean? Of course, I came out as bi first because that's kind of what we all do. Not to say that I would never be open to that idea. I am engaged to a woman now, so I think that that's it for the rest of my life. But she was just so confused, and I said, it's a girl. And she was completely silent. She had nothing to say. And I just sat there quietly wishing that she would say anything at all. So I said, can you say something, please? And she said, well, I have to say I don't agree with it, but I love you. You're my daughter. You're always going to be my daughter, and I will support you forever. I love you, and I will love you forever. And now that's a great message, but that's not really what you want to hear when you're coming out to your parent for the first time. So I was so disappointed. And this best friend who I mentioned before was like a family member with us. He was always at my house. My mom loved him and embraced him as one of her own. And I said, I don't understand. You love Fran. You support him for who he is. What's different about this? And she said, well, he's not my child. And I just thought that that was so strange because where is the separation and why? But I understand now. That was 10 years ago. I understand now that there's an expectation that parents have, or a hope for their child to live a happy life. And of course, they don't want anything to hinder you from achieving that happiness and fulfillment. So I understand where she was coming from. We've had a rocky road since then, but now we're in a good place. I think that she loves my fiance more than she loves me sometimes. I think I would tell that young child who's questioning themselves and wondering if they have a place in their world that they do, you do. And most importantly, I think that looking back, seeing the little parts of myself that distinguished me from other kids are the best parts of myself that I love, and that it's just so important to embrace.